One of the most common questions I have always got all time, most common question is how to become more disciplined. Now, there are different kinds of cases and different kinds of people asking for different reasons. The presumption that you want to have before you ask this question, if you're asking, you want to ask yourself if in your case, in your own unique case, is becoming more disciplined actually a good thing or a bad thing. So there are a lot of techniques out there, how to foster powerful habits, how to start small and things like that. There are already a ton of external techniques to help you to become more disciplined out there. So I'll probably not cover all of those. I just want to share my own approach, my own understanding of discipline. So like I said, not all situations require you to be more disciplined. Now, over the course of my life, I have had the privilege to work with a lot of very disciplined people. And what I've noticed is for all these very disciplined people, they are able to show up on time, they are consistent, and they know what they want. So people like that, I'm sure you've also come across a few or maybe a lot in your life as well. You'll notice the same things that I do, and that is for them, it doesn't seem that they need a lot of effort to discipline themselves. They might need a little bit here and there, just to force themselves to get the extra edge. But what I've noticed is for these people, even though the effort may be there, most of their consistency, most of their determination is actually very much automatic. So I sense very little struggle. In fact, I sense that they almost enjoy that kind of pace, that kind of consistency, that kind of desire to keep going and just be devoted and consistent in what they love doing or what they have to do. So in those cases, their discipline is very strong. But in your case, you want to ask, hey, if I were that disciplined in my situation, is that actually a good thing, right? Because if what you're doing is not ideal, then why would you want to become more disciplined, right? So that's the presumption that you want to have. Now, once you've thought through that, you read and you conclude that, okay, I'm on a path where being more disciplined is actually great, right? So then you go for discipline. Now, even in being disciplined, there's also good discipline and bad discipline. So this might sound a little bit paradoxical, but I always believe that you want to be someone that can be extremely disciplined, right? Extremely automatic. Because I practice martial arts and I know every martial artist, every athlete knows that if you can't be consistent and show up and train, then you are going to be a very, very sucky martial artist or a very, very sucky athlete. So we all know that's the basic ingredient, right? You got to show up, you got to train. At the same time, you want to ask yourself, is your discipline the conscious type of discipline? Or is it you have sort of kind of abused the power of habits and you just show up automatically, but you just do that because you think it's going to get you results. But actually, when you do get there, when you do show up for your training sessions, you're not really there. You understand what I mean? So you are not consciously disciplined. You're just showing up because you think it's discipline. But when it actually gets down to the focus, to the training, to the reflection, the quality isn't there. You understand? So that kind of discipline to me is the unconscious type. You're showing up, but you're not really showing up. So make sure that you're not that type of unconscious discipline. Now, even if you are the conscious type of discipline, you're showing up and you're really fully present, you're really fully engaged, you want to remind yourself that while you want to be extremely disciplined, while you want to be extremely automatic, you also want to be capable of change. You want to be capable of change in the sense that, okay, the moment I find that I locked in these habits, right? I'm showing up to train, but the moment I find that, hey, I've hit a plateau, or hey, I am no longer progressing, or hey, I'm moving backwards. If you don't have the ability to change, then what's going to happen is you're going to be stuck in your discipline, and that, my friend, is not a good place to be. I've been there before, and because the power of habit has already been locked in, you are so automatic, you are so consciously disciplined that you actually don't feel like quitting. You are too disciplined in that sense. So you enjoy your old routine so much that when there is a better way, when someone is telling you that there are better ways, and you understand that, you actually have a very, very hard time quitting. In other words, you become too disciplined. So when you are asking the question, how can I be more disciplined? You notice I actually didn't give you any answers. I am giving you more questions. But when you ask these questions, you find that, hey, there is a time to be disciplined, there is a time to be not disciplined, there is a time to be consciously disciplined, there is a time to say, I need to change my way of being disciplined. I need to change what I want to be disciplined at doing. So what's going to happen is, like I said, I'm not giving you any answers at all, but when you start asking these questions, you actually get more of the best of both worlds, in the sense that when it's time to be disciplined, you know how to lock it in. When being too disciplined, if you will, starts to become a problem, then you know how to pivot, you know how to flow, you know how to adapt, you know how to put down your discipline. And even sometimes, especially back when I was having my own martial arts business, I was too damn disciplined and doing the same shit over and over again. I had to force myself, I had to discipline myself to be lazy, because I know that was my biggest flaw, and all my friends could tell, you know. So I forced myself to be disciplined in a way that, hey Sean, it's time for you to try being lazy. That's right. Because if I could be lazy and do things in a more effective way, why not? Right? Is working hard always the answer? It's being disciplined always the answer, right? What if it is not ideal anymore? Then can I discipline myself to adopt a new train of thought, right? Can I discipline myself to apply the power of leverage, right? So that, hey, if I'm really lazy, can I achieve more by doing less? Can I achieve more by changing at the right time? Can I achieve more by putting down certain habits, certain paradigms that have been locked in for too many years? If I'm someone that's really disciplined, can I switch it on? Can I switch it off at will, right? So some of the things that I use to be more disciplined is actually to question my own discipline, because I know that I can turn it on, I know that I can turn it off. So the question now becomes, when is the right time to turn it on, in what way, right? And when is the time to turn it off, and when is the time to not be disciplined? Like I said, there are a lot of techniques out there that can help you to become more consistent and, you know, structure your life, use the power of your environment, and there are a ton of material out there, so I don't want to repeat and kind of give you the same things. But I hope that the questions that I'm giving you right now really not just help you become more disciplined, because I trust that you can, but also help you understand your need to be disciplined, and also don't create something that in the end you cannot get out of, and that is really, really a painful, very, very painful and helpless place to be. Because if anything, I was probably the most disciplined person in my social circle, and everyone could see how extreme it got, to the point where actually my discipline was controlling me, and I was becoming disciplined for the sake of being disciplined. So I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be in charge of your discipline. So that is my definition of becoming more disciplined. It's not necessarily in the quantity, right? It's more of the quality. It's more of you really understanding yourself. So if this video brought you the clarity and inspiration you needed, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so every time I release a video on personal development, you get notified. And if you know of a friend who's asking the same type of questions, Or if you know of a friend that was like me, that was way too disciplined and they need to really hear a different point of view, do them a favor, tag them in the comments below, send them the link, the URL to this video. You'll never know whose life you could change when you take an action as small as that. Last but not least, if you have any deeper level questions that you need help with, always feel free to send them my way at Telegram at Sean Sena, SEANSENA. I may not be able to reply directly all of them, but if I chance upon one of your quality questions, I'm gonna turn it into more content and send it your way. Until next time, it's Sean Sena. Have a great day.